What's up guys, this is my Redcat Rampage XT with the MT conversion. Today we're going to be installing this Horizon Hobby Dynamite large scale kill switch. This Rampage I originally picked up for $280 and it had a whole bunch of problems. Right now there's wiring hanging out all over. Now I took a chance and I tried to install the Redcat kill switch. This is what it looks like, guys, and I have not been able to get it to work. I wasn't even really planning on doing a video on the kill switch install, but I just cannot get it to function at all. Now of course it goes without saying the original radio was this 2-channel Redcat. You cannot run a kill switch that is remote operated from a 3rd channel using a 2-channel radio. That just cannot happen. The physics are not there to do that. To overcome that, I've paired it to my FlySky GT5. I run this radio on almost all of my RCs currently. They are very easy to use. You can run them with a LiPo battery. Check this out, basic 2S LiPo, charge it up. You have a couple hours of operational power from this remote. Very easy to work with. I have a BS6 receiver sticking out of this thing right now. The good thing about these receivers is not only are they super cheap, but they do have built-in gyros if you ever want to use it. Other than the kill switch, there still is some stuff left to do. I have to replace the wheels. This is what happened to the original wheel on this. It was just too much power, you know, from this terrible engine that it has. Actually, it's not that bad. It does have like a modified upper cylinder top end on this. But I do have the wheels. We will get to that later. For now, the goal is to get the electronics sorted to replace the throttle servo. I do not trust the Redcat throttle servos. There. I also had a straight flow through exhaust with absolutely no tuned pipe on this. That's how I got this when I paid $280 for it. Now, of course, the Redcat Gas RC community helps a brother out, and I want you guys to please check out one of my fellow subscribers and friends in real life, Rob, from the Fitscale or Bust RC channel. He recently got one of the coolest gas engines I've ever seen from t-maxx. Dual splash, full custom billet builds. He's pretty much a game changer in the gas RC hobby. And he's also a cool dude. You know why? Because he sent me this pipe. That's right, this is a King Motors Thor exhaust. He recommended that I call this the Thor's Hammer, and that might be what it comes down to. Now, unfortunately, the way Redcat mounts their pipes, it's pretty much a disaster the way it works. That's why all of these aftermarket exhausts on the Redcat Rampage series are like sky high, because you cannot just use a basic Baja pipe on these, unfortunately. The rear suspension components, the shock tower gets in the way. But I will figure out a way how to mount this thing. I like it. Look at this dual exhaust thing coming out here. Literally looks like Thor's hammer. And that was his idea, guys. So please check out my friend Rob at Fitscale or Bust. You're gonna like what he does. And by the way, he does have a JATO 3.3. Tell him you want to see him run that JATO, because he currently just has it sitting on his fridge. No joke, it's like a fridge ornament, because he just has so many cool Fitscale Gas RCs. Well, the JATO, you know, sometimes it has to sit on the fridge. What can I tell you? By the way, has anyone been wondering what this Nitro engine on top of the roof here is? One of the largest Nitro motors ever put into a ready-to-run truck, other than the Thunder Tiger EK4, which does have a slightly larger engine. That's a .70. This is a .50 helicopter engine. I did some cleanup on it. Everything seems to be okay. Look at that giant clutch bell here in the front, guys. Thing is huge. We will get to see this running soon, and I guarantee you guys, the Associated MGT 8.0, along with this giant Redcat, they're gonna be runners. Why? Because the Nitrogang, we fix stuff, we do things the right way. We don't just go out and buy new stuff. We make things happen, even when they're old, even when the Nitro motors are tired, they are never gonna die. And that's also gonna be the case with this. Why? Because I will never let a Nitro die. Let's take a look to see where I'm currently at with the kill switch installed. We have the spark tool connected. Let me turn the electronics on. I already have everything paired to this chassis. The throttle servo works. Everything is okay, right? The FlySky is all hooked up. I'm gonna pull the pull start here, and the whole goal here is to verify that we do have spark here coming from the coil. Now, if you don't have spark, that you probably should do something else. But for now, we just want to verify that our coil works before I start disassembling all of this. All right, let's watch that. Yep, I can see some spark. The coil is functional, everything is good. Time to remove this fan shroud, time to remove the pull start, and then we'll have access to the wires. First thing you gotta do is remove the pull start. Just 4 3mm screws here. Depending on what kind of screw sizes you have, you know, they might change, but it's very, very easy. Just a plastic pull start. You know, these things are very cheap. This one does not have a metal pole inside, but once again, this is like, you know, cheaper than about 20 bucks on eBay. If you ruin a pull start, no big deal. Nothing really to worry about. A lot of people wind up getting these like high-end billet ones. It doesn't matter. The only goal of the pull start is to start the damn motor. That's the only goal. I'm not trying to get this thing to look like a freaking showpiece. As long as it works, and I know that it does work. I also removed 2 screws here from the bottom. There are just 4 more around the perimeter here, and then 2 Phillips screws on top. After that, this thing should just come out easily. Thing comes out, we gotta slide out this button. I've already done some work on this, as I said, but it just comes out easy. You see that, guys? Just a basic metal fan shroud, nothing to it. There's literally no way you can make mistakes here. Now, the original wiring, let me show it to you. Just a couple clips here, they go on to the coil here, and they're also attached to your cutoff switch, the engine stop button, right? The kill switch, whatever you want to call it. Now, the new replacement one is basically the same. One set goes behind the coil, and then one set goes here. Now, most people remove the coil. I am going to do my best not to remove the coil because I don't want to have to put it back. There's like a very tiny margin of error for clearance there, and there's a whole bunch of procedures on how to even install coils. So I'm going to do my best to just replace what's here, replace the wiring, and then it should be okay. Let's slide one of these out. I'll show you how easy it is. See that? Very easy. There's one more black wire in the back there. Let's open it up. It's very straightforward. Here we go. That's all there is to it. There are 2 connectors here. So this longer one has to be attached to the coil itself, and this shorter set will be attached to the button itself. This will route through the chassis, and then we just have the rest of the components here. There's a fuse inside, there's a light that tells you whether it's operational. Installation wise, this is the first piece we have to install. The part that goes inside the motor here. Now I'm just gonna do the most simple method, remove one and install one. I've already removed this red terminal, so there's no way I can mess this up. We're going to install the red terminal. Boom, there it is. Very, very easy. These are standard connectors. You don't need to solder anything. It's very straightforward. Now, the one in the back there is not so easy. I'm going to have to get a screwdriver and pry it up a little bit. I'm just going to pry it up, and there it is. You guys see that? It's disconnected. That's it. Very easy. I'm going to install the new one now. There it is. On. Absolutely no big deal. Just took a screwdriver, put it in. It should be fine. The Dynamite system does not come with a new one, so you could simply just reuse the one you have. It really doesn't matter which way you install this. You could do it backwards, it doesn't matter. I'm going to do my best to just basically remove them one at a time. All right, we got that one. Positive one is on. And now we just have to get the negative one. There we go. Good connection. It should be perfect. We'll put this back in there in a little bit. For now, we just need to route this wire around the back here so it stays out of way of anything. And very easy to install, to be honest with you. At this point, you could connect your fan shroud cover, you know, get it all tucked in there properly, of course. It has to be inserted here in a specific way so it doesn't have a problem closing here. Everything is assembled back. I have it correctly connected. As I press the 3rd channel, the LED will go off. That means we should not be getting spark. So when it's on, we should be getting spark. With it off, we're not getting spark. Very simple wiring setup. This is all just, you know, messy right now because it's not finally done. I just need to verify that, in fact, my wiring system is correctly connected. So now I'm just going to pull this. We should be observing spark here in the spark tester. Let's see what happens. Okay, I saw some spark. Watch this again. We have a good amount of spark being generated. Now the key thing here is I gotta make sure I have no spark when the LED is off. LED is off, so hopefully I do not see spark here. That is gonna be the only way I can actually test this while I'm still not outside. Let's do this again. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. For some reason I see spark. That is not good. That means there's something wrong with my wiring setup, although I watch videos on how this is done, and I don't know what went wrong, but when the LED is off, we should not be seeing spark. And guys, I see spark here. This is not good. I'm going to try to disconnect the entire wiring harness. The main switch itself, right? Fully disconnected right now. And I hope I don't see any spark. If I do, well, that's not good. That's weird. I see spark even with everything disconnected. I don't know what went wrong. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to attempt to put the plug back in here. We're going to check this outside. I don't think this is going to work, but I already showed you guys before what happened. The fact that I was still getting spark. But maybe, possibly, somehow, if I started, hopefully this thing starts. I haven't even started in a while. But right now, the LED is red. You can barely see because it's so bright outside here, but it is red. That means we should be getting spark if the system is working properly. I've already primed the motor. We have the original straight pipe here. You know, we're not doing any magic here. We're just trying to get this thing to start. I've checked the throttle linkage. It will start, but I just want to see whether when it's running, if I hit the 3rd channel auxiliary cutoff, whether it'll actually cut the spark. I highly doubt it. It probably will not, because I've already seen it not cut spark. But anyway, let's just start it. Maybe something will change, although I highly doubt it. Here we go. Oh, it's gonna start. It feels like it. This thing is loud, guys. It is loud. Okay, so it runs. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna press it. Nothing. Nothing. You see that? Nothing. It's still running. I don't get it. I just don't get it. So I activated the 3rd channel multiple times. I did observe the LED go on and off, and it was still getting spark to the motor. Very weird. The button does work because I just pressed it. It does shut down. It has good spark. It runs stable, but I don't get it, guys. So if you know what's going on, put it in the comments. You know, I've installed kill switches before, and it wasn't a dynamite one, but yeah, I know many of you guys are going to be saying, oh, it's faulty, this and that. I mean, it's brand new. It's the chance of that happening is like probably close to 0. It is possible, but the thing is, like, even with this whole thing disconnected, check this out, guys. I'm going to disconnect it right now, and I will attempt to start it again. We're going to see what happens. I guarantee you it's probably going to run once again, because there's something going on. Is it possible that the coil itself is somehow not set up to run a kill switch? I don't know how that could even be. These are like generic coils. Maybe it's a Redcat thing. Someone tell me. So I have it fully disconnected now. Let's see what happens. Freaking start it again. I don't get it. I just don't get it. It started with the whole thing disconnected. I just don't get it. I mean, if this is not getting the proper signal and I have the wiring correctly connected, why is it still starting? I don't get it. I've never had a problem installing a kill switch on a Baja. This is my first attempt on a Redcat. Maybe it's like a Redcat specific thing. Someone please let me know. I want to get this thing running. It sounds good. There's a bunch of smoke pouring out the exhaust. This is the one with the 2-speed that doesn't shift, but I want to get it to shift. I just can't get this thing to probably shut down when I need it to. I don't want to have a runaway. These things are dangerous. There's a lot of liability. So somebody, please help me out. Thanks for watching. See you later. After I recorded that video, I decided it was in my best interest to order up a pair of very good Super B kill switches. You're looking at the receipt, $120 for 2 Super B kill switches with the optional LEDs. These are the best in the industry. These things almost never fail, and in fact, I run one in my drag Baja. Some of you guys know that I've had a Patreon for some time now. I don't have much support. I think there's about 3 to 4 supporters right now, and I promised you guys that I would save up the money to get a Kyosho Mat Crusher, the one with a 3-speed. Well, unfortunately, the Kyosho Mat Crusher is out of stock and on back order everywhere. So I will be using my Patreon money that I've accumulated over the few months that I've had my support page so far, you know, it's basically I just have one level, $10 a month. You could look at it here. You want to pay $10 a month, you could formally join the Nitro gang. Whether you support me through Patreon or not, if you own a Nitro, you're in the Nitro gang. But if you want to see your name in the captions towards the end of one of my videos, well then you better be in that $10 support group, because the more support I have, the more cool Nitro stuff I'm gonna buy. And guys, don't you worry, eventually we will be getting some kind of 3-speed Kyosho truck. Whether it's gonna be the Kyosho Fox or the Mad Crusher, I'm gonna leave that up to you. Put it in the comments. I'll do what you tell me to do. See you later.